Namaste, and once again welcome back to another session of online mathematics class. Last class we have started the chapter lines and angles, and we have discussed exercise 6.1. Today we are going to discuss the new topic parallel lines and transversal. Here we have some theorems, axioms, and important definitions. After discussing this, we will move on to the exercise 6.2. Okay, let's start. Parallel lines and transversal. We have already discussed what are parallel lines. Parallel lines means the never intersecting lines. The lines which do not intersect each other are called what? Parallel lines. And here a new term, transversal. Transversal is a line which intersect two or more lines at distinct points. Look at the figure. If we draw two lines L and M, and here we can draw another line N. This line meets the line L at the point P and meets the line M at the point Q. So here N is called the transversal. N is called the transversal because it intersects the other two lines at distinct points, namely P and Q. And when a transversal intersects two lines, different pairs of angles are formed. We can discuss one by one. Here we get the angles. Here we can mark it as angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. 8 angles are formed. 4 angles are exterior angles. Here exterior angles are numbered as angle 1, angle 2, then angle 7 and angle 8. And 4 of them are interior angles. That means the angles lies between these two lines L and M. So here the interior angles are namely angle 3, angle 4 and angle 5 and angle 6. Clear? Now the next one is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles means angles in the same position. Okay. So corresponding angles. Here we can take the angle on the left of the line N, left of the transversal N, and on the top of these two lines L and M. Okay, left of the transversal N and the top of the line L and M, and they are 2 and 6. Left of N, top of the line L, top of the line M. So here 2 and 6 are corresponding angles. So one pair is angle 2 and angle 6. Similarly, we can take the angle to the left of the line N and the bottom of the lines L and M. They are 3 and 7. So the second pair is angle 3 and angle 7. Clear? Next we can take the angle on the right of the transversal N and to the top of the lines L and M. They are angle 1 and angle 5. Similarly, we can make another pair of angles, corresponding angles to the bottom of these lines, angle 4 and angle 8. Okay, so what we can conclude? When two lines are intersected by a transversal, 4 pairs of corresponding angles are formed. Okay, and the next type of angles is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Interior angles we have already discussed. The angles which lies between the lines L and M. Here they are 3, 4, 5 and 6. Alternate interior angles. So you have to take the angle 3 and 5. These are alternate interior angles. Alternate angles. Okay. And 4 and 6. Another pair of alternate angle. Okay. So angle 3 and angle 5. Then the second pair is angle 4 and angle 6. Clear? Next one is alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. Here the exterior angles are angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8. Okay. And among them we can select the alternate angles. Angle 2 and angle 8. Angle 1 and angle 7. So the angles are angle 2 and angle 8. Then angle 1 and angle 7. Okay. Now the next type of angles is interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Here N is the transversal and interior angles are 3, 4, 5, 6. On the same side of the transversal, that is 3 and 6, 4 and 5. They are also called allied angles, co-interior angles, consecutive interior angles. Okay, there are different names for interior angles on the same side of the transversal. They are allied angles, then co-interior angles, consecutive interior angles, and interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Here angle 3 and angle 6, then angle 4 and angle 5. Okay, so these are the different pairs of angles formed when two lines are intersected by a transversal. Clear? Now we shall discuss two axioms. Axiom number 6.3. If a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. We have discussed what is called corresponding angles. Here two parallel lines. Then these two parallel lines, namely L and M, are intersected by a transversal N. Then different pairs of angles are formed. We can mark it as 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, and here the axiom states that if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, here N is the transversal which intersect the parallel lines L and M, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Here what are the corresponding angles? Angle 2 and angle 6. So by axiom 6.3 we can write angle 2 equal to angle 6. Then the next pair is angle 3 and angle 7. So angle 3 is equal to angle 7. And here angle 1 and angle 5. So angle 1 equal to angle 5 and angle 4 equal to angle 8. Okay. And the next axiom is if a transversal intersect two lines such that a pair of corresponding angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel to each other. Obviously, it's a converse of the axiom 6.3. It is the reverse of the axiom 6.3. Okay. Here in the first one, it states that if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. If the lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are equal. And the second one states that if corresponding angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. Okay. Next we have two important theorems related to alternate angles. If a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. I repeat, if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. Here, what are the alternate interior angles? In this figure, the alternate interior angles are angle 3 and angle 5, angle 4 and angle 6. Okay, and by the theorem, we can write angle 3 is equal to angle 5 and angle 4 is equal to angle 6. Okay, and the next one is the converse of the first theorem. If a transversal intersect two lines such that a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, if a transversal intersect two lines, here N is a transversal and N intersect other two lines L and M such that a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then L is parallel to M. Okay. First one is if two lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are equal. And the reverse or the converse is if alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. Clear? Next is a theorem related to interior angles on the same side of the transversal or co-interior angles, allied angles or consecutive interior angles. Okay. So the theorem is if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. Okay. Here the interior angles on the same side of the transversal in this figure is 4 and 5. Angle 4 and angle 5. So we can write angle 4 plus angle 5 equal to 180 degree. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. And we can take the interior angles on the right side of the transversal. Here it is 3 and 6. Okay. So angle 3 plus angle 6 will be equal to 180 degree. Clear? I repeat, if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. Okay, and interior angles on the same side of the transversal are otherwise called what? Allied angles, co-interior angles, consecutive interior angles. Okay, these are different names for interior angles on the same side of the transversal. And the next one is the converse of theorem 6.4. If a transversal intersect two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. Okay. If a transversal intersect any two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, first theorem states that if two lines are parallel, then interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. And the reverse of the theorem states that if interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then the lines are parallel. Okay. Next topic is lines parallel to the same line. Lines parallel to the same line. Here consider three lines L, M and N. And we draw a transversal T. Okay, here T is the transversal. L, M, N are three lines such that L is parallel to M and the line N is parallel to L. Okay, here L is parallel to M and L is parallel to N. Okay, and L parallel to M implies what we can write? These two angles are equal, corresponding angles. Okay, so angle 1 equal to angle 2. And N parallel to L implies angle 1 equal to angle 3. Okay, they are corresponding angles. Angle 1 equal to angle 3. Now from these two equations, what we can conclude? In the first case, angle 1 equal to angle 2. Here angle 1 equal to angle 3. So we can conclude angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Okay. Angle 2 equal to angle 3 means by corresponding angle axiom, what we can say? M is parallel to N. Okay. So by corresponding angle axiom, M is parallel to N. So this is given in the theorem 6.6. Lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Lines parallel to the same line. Here the line M is parallel to L and N is also parallel to L. M parallel to L, N parallel to L. So here the lines M and N are parallel to the same line L. So what we can conclude, they are parallel to one another. M is parallel to N. I repeat, lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Understood? Now we move on to exercise 6.2. Let's start with the first question. In figure, find the values of x and y and then show that AB parallel to CD. Here AB and CD are two lines that intersected by a transversal and forming the angle, namely here it is 50 degree x, then y and 130 degree. From the figure, we can easily understand that 50 degree and angle x, these two angles form linear pair. Okay, angle 50 degree plus x gives 180 degrees. So from the figure, 50 degree plus x is equal to 180 degree, or x is equal to 180 degree minus 50 degree, which gives 130 degree. Okay, here we can write the reason, linear pair. Now consider the second one. Here look at the angles y and 130. What is the relation between y and 130? These are vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. And by theorem 6.1, what we can say, if two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. So we can easily write y is equal to 130. So y is equal to 130. Reason, vertically opposite angles. Okay. So now we got the values of x and y are 130 degree each. That means x is equal to y. Therefore, x is equal to y. And look at the figure. Here x and y are alternate interior angles. Okay, clearly we can conclude that these two are alternate interior angles. And here we got the values are equal. X equal to y. So what we can conclude? So by the theorem we can say AB and CD are parallel. Because here two lines AB and CD are intersected by a transversal such that a pair of alternate interior angles are equal. So we can conclude AB is parallel to CD. Okay, that we can write here, since the alternate interior angles x and y are equal, AB is parallel to CD. Okay. Now we move on to question number 2. In figure, if AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF and Y is to Z is equal to 3 is to 7, find X. So here it is given that AB parallel to CD and CD parallel to EF, then Y is to Z is equal to 3 is to 7. Here we can take the Y value as 3K and Z value as 7K. Okay. Here the value is y. Since CD is parallel to EF, here also the value is y. Corresponding angles on the left of the transversal and the top of these lines. Okay, so these two are corresponding angles. So here we can mark y. And what about y and z now? Y and z are linear pair of angles. So y plus z gives what? 180 degrees. So from figure, we can write y plus z is equal to 180 degree. That values we can replace here. 3k plus 7k is equal to 180 degree. 10k is equal to 180 degree. and k is equal to 180 divided by 10, which is equal to 18 degrees. So the value of k is 18. From this we can find the y value first. So here y is equal to 3k. So 3 into 18, 3 into 18 is 54. So 54 degrees. Y value is 54. Now what is the relation between x and y? Since AB and CD are parallel, we can say x and y are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Co-interior angles, okay, or allied angles. So x plus y gives 180 degrees. Sum of interior angles is equal to 180 degree. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Okay, so here we can write x plus y is equal to 180 degree because they are co-interior angles or interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So in this we can give the value of y as 54 degrees. So x plus 54 is equal to 180 and x is equal to 180 minus 54, which is equal to 126 degree. Okay, so the value of x is 126 degree. Clear? Here the next question is, in figure if AB parallel to CD, AB is parallel to CD, EF perpendicular to CD. This line EF is perpendicular to CD and GD is equal to 126 degree. Find angle AGE, angle GEF and angle FGE. So here one angle is given, angle GED is equal to 126 degree. That is, here we can mark the angle GED 126. And first one is AGE. AGE. Since AB and CD are parallel, angle AGE will be equal to angle GED. Okay, two are alternate interior angles. So angle AGE will be equal to angle GED, which is equal to 126 degree. Reason, alternate interior angles. Okay. Now the second one is GEF. GEF. This total angle is 126 and one of them is 90 degree. So this much angle is given by 126 minus 90. Okay. So angle GEF is equal to angle GED minus angle FED. That is 126 minus 90, which gives 36 degree. Okay. So here it is 36 degree. Here 126 degree. Now the last one is angle FGE. FGE. This one. What is the relation between these two angles? Linear pair. Okay. So AGE and FGE are linear pairs. So the sum will be 180 degree. So we can write angle AGE plus angle FGE will be equal to 180 degree linear pair. And here we can put the value of AGE. So 126 plus angle FGE equal to 180 and angle FGE equal to 180 minus 126 and which gives 54 degree. So angle FGE is equal to 54 degree. Okay. Here the next question is, in figure if PQ parallel to ST, PQ is parallel to ST, angle PQR equal to 110 degree and angle RST equal to 130 degree. We have to find angle QRS. QRS. For that we have to make a construction. Through the point R, we should draw a line parallel to ST. Okay. So draw a line which is parallel to ST through R. We can name it as AB. So here we can write the construction. Draw line AB parallel to ST through the point R. Okay. Here it is given that PQ parallel to ST. So given PQ parallel to ST, and by our construction that ST is parallel to AB. So we can also write the line AB will be parallel to PQ. Okay, the lines parallel to the same line are parallel to one another. By that theorem, we can conclude like this. So now this line AB is parallel to PQ and AB is also parallel to ST. So first of all, we can find the angles. Angle ARQ and angle BRS. PQ and AB are parallel and we can consider QR as a transversal. So these two angles are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal and they are supplementary. Okay. So here we can write angle PQR plus angle ARQ, which is equal to 180 degree. Co-interior angles or interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Okay, now we can replace the value of PQR. 110 degree plus angle ARQ equal to 180 degree and angle ARQ equal to 180 minus 110, which is 70 degree. So here the angle is 70 degree. Similarly, we can find the angle BRS. 180 minus 130, we will get what? 50 degree. Okay. So here we can write angle RST plus angle BRS. This one. Angle BRS will be equal to 180 degree. Co-interior angle. Okay. So 130 degree plus angle BRS equal to 180 degree and angle BRS equal to 180 minus 130, which is 50 degree. Okay, so here the angle is 50 degree. Now finally what we have to find out? We have to find angle QRS. Okay, here is angle QRS. And these three angles lie on a line. Okay, angle ARQ, QRS, then SRB or BRS. And the sum of these three angles will be equal to how much? 180 degrees. Okay, it is a straight angle. So here we can write angle ARQ plus angle QRS plus angle BRS will be equal to 180 degree. Now we can give the known values, that is 70 degree plus angle QRS plus 50 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. 70 plus 50 is 120. So 120 degree plus angle QRS equal to 180 degree and angle QRS is equal to 180 minus 120, which is equal to 60 degree. So our final answer is angle QRS is equal to 60 degree. Okay. Now the fifth question is, in figure, if AB parallel to CD, angle APQ equal to 50 degree, then angle PRD equal to 127 degree. Find X and Y. We can write X is equal to 50 degree because these two are alternate interior angles. Okay, so X is equal to 50 degree. Since AB is parallel to CD, these two angles are alternate interior angles. Okay. Now we can write angle APR. This much angle. Angle APR will be equal to angle PRD. These two angles are also alternate angles. Okay. So angle APR equal to angle PRD. Now we can split angle APR as 50 plus Y. So 50 degree plus Y equal to angle PRD, the value is 127 degree. Therefore Y is equal to 127 degree minus 50 degree, which gives 77 degrees. So the value of Y is 77 degree and the value of X is what? 50 degree. Okay. Now we move on to the last question in this exercise. In figure, PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. Here PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. So here PQ is parallel to RS. It is given. An incident ray AB strikes the mirror PQ at B. Here AB is the incident ray. Here AB is an incident ray which strikes the mirror PQ at the point B. The reflected ray moves along the path BC. Here BC is the reflected ray and strikes the mirror RS at C. And BC strikes the mirror RS at the point C. And again reflects back along CD. Again it reflects back along CD. Okay. Prove that AB parallel to CD. We have to prove AB parallel to CD. Okay. We all know the concept angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Here it is the angle of incident and here it is angle of reflection. That we can write first. We know angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. So here we can write that is angle ABP equal to DCS. Angle DCS. Okay. Since PQ is parallel to RS, the angle PBC and the angle BCS, these two angles are alternate angles. Okay. So since PQ parallel to RS, angle PBC will be equal to angle BCS. Reason, alternate interior angles. Now we can split these angles as the sum of two angles. Here PBC is the sum of ABP and ABC. Okay. And BCS is the sum of BCD and DCS. Okay. That is angle ABP then plus angle ABC will be equal to BCS BCD angle BCD then plus angle DCS. Okay. And here we got the value of angle ABP and angle DCS are equal because angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So these two values we can cancel, angle ABP and angle DCS, and which implies what we get, angle ABC equal to angle BCD. And while observing the figure, you can identify that angle ABC, this angle ABC, then angle BCD, this shaded portion. Clearly these two angles are alternate angles. while considering the lines AB, CD and the transversal BC. Okay, so what we can conclude here, the alternate interior angles are equal and hence the lines are parallel. Okay, therefore we can conclude AB is parallel to CD. So which implies AB is parallel to CD. The reason is angle ABC and angle BCD are alternate interior angles and they are equal. So the lines are parallel. Okay. So this finishes exercise 6.2. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thank you.